Hello servers people, Enrico here, and in this video I want to show you the power of step functions in a real scenario. We'll be using Lambda, DynamoDB, retry and catch block within the step functions. If you want to see other similar content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I publish a new video every Thursday. So first of all, what are step functions? So you can think about step function as a state machine defined following a specific language. In this case it's called the Amazon state machine language, where you can define states and actions. There are ideal for service orchestrations, and there are two main types, standard and express. Express was released probably like 1 year ago. In this video, we'll be focusing on the standard one. You can see here in the documentation, there is a table with the difference between standard and express. You can think about the express one as ideal for high volume event processing workloads, as like streaming, data processing, these kind of things. But as I said, we're gonna focus on the standard one, and I'm gonna make another video for the express in the future. Alright, so let's see what we're gonna build with the step functions today. We are gonna build a simple ticket sales website when you can purchase tickets or ask for a refund. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the first state, which is gonna be a choice state, and based on the input that we're gonna give to our state machine, it's gonna go to the purchase branch or to the refund branch. And now we're gonna see what are those. For the refund ticket, is it just like a Lambda function? On the other hand, the purchase ticket has different nodes. I'm gonna implement a retry node, a catch node, and also a put item node in DynamoDB. So let's move to the AWS console and see what we need to do to get these step functions up and running. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is to create the Lambda functions. Here I've already created the functions. I'm gonna show it to you. They're very basic. So I'll show you the purchase ticket function. The idea here is to have a function that simulates a failure. So I have here a dummy function that gives a 50% probability of true or false. And then based on the isTicketPaid value, I'm going to reply with the response if the function has been successful. So I'm going to send back to the step function isTicketPaid true, a ticket ID that I'm going to save in Dynamo, and the action, which is purchase ticket. If on the other end isTicketPaid is false, it doesn't go into this if block, it throws this error called payment failed error. And the idea is to show you how to add a retry block in your Lambda function, and then after the retry max attempts, get a catch block and send the value to the end block or to that letter queue. So here it is. It's as I said, it's simple function. It simulates with a 50% probability a successful or a failure into the Lambda function. So now let's move to the to our step functions and create this state machine. So to create a state machine, you go on the create state machine here. We select standard, and here we have the design and workflow studio. In the left-hand side column, we have the actions. Most popular are gonna be, invoke the Lambda function, publish a message into an SNS topic, start execution, and all the other stuff. In our example, we're gonna use Lambda and Dynamo. And then we have the available nodes. They're like the choice, parallel, map, pass, wait, success, and fail. I'm gonna make a video about it, so don't worry if you're not aware of all of them. So to start with, we have the start node and the end node, and here you can drag your first state. In our case, we want to have a choice state when we have two branches. So let's first, the first branch is this one, rule 1. So we're gonna actually add a label on our state choice. So here is like, you can say initial state, and as you can see, it changes here on the graph. And the first rule, of course, it depends on the JSON input that is being received on the start node. So I assume that my JSON has an action key with a value that can be a purchase ticket or refund ticket. So I'm going to add conditions, and in here is if $.action. So every time you set the dollar, it means based on this JSON input file, I want to access the action key is equal to a string constant, in this case, purchase ticket. So if the action key contains the purchase ticket string, goes to this branch in here. Add the new state, and the state is here. Don't have to do anything else. Then you have here the input. If you want to filter out the input on this start node, we're not gonna do it. And output, if you want to filter out the output, you're gonna send it to the next block. But here we want to add a new branch as well. So it's gonna be rule2, add condition again, $.action, choose comparator is gonna be is equal to string constant, and is refound ticket. Okay, so now we have our state machine with the choice state, and if the action is purchase ticket, I want to invoke the Lambda function. So go on the action column, drag and drop the invoke Lambda, and here now I need to configure it. So you can call it like purchase ticket Lambda, and as you can see, it updates in here. Then we're gonna choose the Lambda function, which is purchase ticket. There you go. And in here, we're gonna say, okay, the payload is gonna be the same as the one received from the choice state. Next state, go to end. And we're gonna edit this one in a second, and then we're gonna add some error handling for our Lambda function. So as I said, since the purchase ticket Lambda function can fail, I want to add a retry block. So here I can modify the retry values. And as I showed you before, we have a custom error. So it's called payment fail error. In here, this the retry block is catching, the general exceptions, which are like service exception, AWS Lambda exceptions, and SDK client exceptions. You can see the exact meaning of this on the AWS documentation. But I want to add an extra error, which is this one, the payment failure error. So I paste in here, click enter, and we have it now. Then I want to retry the function after, let's say, 5 seconds. And I want to do maximum of 2 attempts. And the backoff rate is just the multiplier by which the retry interval increases with each attempt. In a real case scenario where we have, a purchase ticket website, and maybe the payment has failed, you want to, maybe retry in 1 minute or like 10 minutes and send an email to the customer. We were not able to process your payment. Please update your credit card details, these kind of things. For our example, 5 seconds is enough. All right, so after 2 retries, what is going to happen is that if it fails again, the Lambda function is going to throw the error. So I want to catch the error, adding the new catch in here. So this is like purchase catch, and I want to catch all the errors. So I'm going to use the states.all keyword, and I want to add a new state. So when this happens, I want to catch the error and go to a new state. So I'm going to click add new state, and what I'm going to do is going to just pass the error to the end node. This is just for the example. In a real case scenario, I will suggest to send the error to a data queue or to another Lambda function and process the error manually, or just send an email to your customer saying we were not able to process your payment. So in here I'm gonna just drop a pass block in here, so it's gonna just pass the error to the end. So we have configured the retry and the catch blocks. So what we want to do is that we want to configure the successful case. So if the Lambda function is successful, I want to save the data inside the Dynamo DB table. So I'm gonna filter out here Dynamo put item, drag it in here, and we have the Dynamo DB put item action. Now, of course, we have to so here it's like put ticket in ticket table. Of course, I have already created the ticket table in Dynamo. So if you go in here, you're gonna see my table, and you can see we have the ticket table with the partition key ticket ID. So we have to remember these details because we're gonna use it now. So Pay attention in here because we have to configure the values. So this is a ticket table. Column is, as we said, ticket ID. And here it's very important. So if we want DynamoDB to process this value dynamically, we have to say $. So basically we are saying you're gonna receive a string contained into a JSON file, and the value is gonna be on the $ticket ID. Obviously, this ticket ID is the one returned by the Lambda function, and if we go in here, is exactly this one. So this is the JSON file that's gonna be, returned by Lambda, and Dynamo wants to save this value. All right, so now it's been configured, the DynamoDB step as well. Next step, just go to the end for the example. Maybe in a real case scenario, you want to do something else. And what we need to configure is just the last Lambda function, which is the refund ticket one. Here I'm gonna just put it the refund ticket Lambda function. We're not gonna focus on this one. I just wanted to show you one case for the Lambda functions. And here, drop state here, I'm gonna just add a pass block. All right, so we have our state machine ready. The next step is now to click on the next step. As you can see here, you have the JSON representation of our state machine. Have a look on the structure. It's very educational, I will say, to understand the state machine language. I think it's actually fun to learn it a little bit. And now you can also, if you want to use, this graph, you can even export it as a PNG and as a JSON file. So next step is to give a name to the Lambda function. So it's gonna be ticket machine YouTube. All right. Next thing is I'm gonna tell AWS to create a new role to let the step functions to trigger the Lambda function and put item in the selected Dynamo DB table. And then I'm gonna click create state machine. State machine has been created. We have it in here, and what we can try now is to start the execution. All right, let's click the start execution here, and you can specify a name. Let's call it test1, and then we have to specify the JSON input file. And I'm gonna say action purchase ticket. Start execution, and we can actually follow it as it happens, which is quite cool. So action choice goes to the Lambda purchase. Here, I suppose there is the retry in place. Yes, because I can see a task failed, and you see it's retrying after 10 seconds as we have configured. It's failing again, so now is the second attempt, and let's see what happens. The cool thing is that you can follow it in here. So now we are currently on the Lambda purchase state, and it's gonna retry again, and it's gonna, oh, it actually succeeded on the second attempt. So it went to the DynamoDB put item and went to the end. So if you go in here, you see task succeeded, task state entered for the DynamoDB put item, schedule started. So DynamoDB put item was successful. So if we go on the DynamoDB dashboard, we should be able to see the element. Let's have a look. Actually, let's see before what we should expect in terms of ticket ID. Ticket ID we should see in DynamoDB is this one. So Z, F, Z, and W. I go on the tables, ticket table, click in here, export table items, and we see the ticket ID in here. So it worked great with 2 retries, which is kind of a real case scenario, because the Lambda failed, and with the retry block, it was able to succeed at the second attempt. So let's try another one. We'll see if it fails. So I'm gonna copy the input. So I'm gonna set again the purchase action, because as I said, the refund one is not really interesting. Purchase ticket, start execution. Oh, in this case, in the first attempt, it went directly to succeeded. So we should see again, let's just double check that the item was the correct one. So if I go in here, task entered UR8, I go in here again. UR8. Okay, we have it. All right, so the step functions are working. This is quite cool. And I think it's very useful also to see the it's also useful to have this tool where you can test it out on your AWS account and see the different steps. All right, I hope this video was useful. I'm gonna make more about step functions in the next weeks because I think it's a very useful service. Thanks again for watching and see you on the next one.